What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Kristen Ayana, and before we get into this episode, I just gotta say, make sure that y'all subscribe, like, and turn those post notifications on, and stay tuned with Black Talk Radio. Welcome to Black Talk Radio, hosted by Kristen Ayana. Listen as we discuss the latest in Black culture, Black news, and Black entertainment. What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Kristen Ayana, and welcome back to Black Talk Radio, where we discuss the latest in Black culture, news, and entertainment. Now, I'm super duper excited because I got a very special guest in the building. Who's here with me today?
Daily.
Hi. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Good. It's Friday. The weather is nice. It's getting hot outside. Yeah. I'm really excited to have you, just to learn about you and, of course, like what you've been doing. So, for those who may or may not know, can you just tell us a little bit about where you're from and, of course, like what made you start getting into music?
I'm from the Lower East Side, Manhattan. I grew up around music. Like my family, my grandfather, my mom, my uncles. It's just like always music blasting throughout the house. I also grew up in the church choir too.
Oh, okay.
So I just always had a hand in music.
Right, from a young age. Okay, that's fire. What kind of music, like, did your family play growing up, would you say?
All kinds of different music. Pop, R&B, everything. Rock and roll, literally everything.
I love that. I love that it was diverse, like, because me, like, my family's Jamaican. So I feel like for me, there's like a lot of, I guess, like R&B songs or like old R&B songs that sometimes I don't know. Because it's like, my parents were playing like reggae and straight reggae and old school reggae and dance hall. So it's like, I'm glad that you were able to get like the mix of all genres for sure. Is there like any particular song that like stands out when you think about music that your family used to play?
My favorite song of all time is Human Nature by Michael Jackson. And that was like the song, that was just like the song for me. Like I had it on CD, everything. I took it with me everywhere. They got me the CD for my birthday when I was like, I don't even know how, maybe 4.
I love that. Okay, see, I knew that one. So I'm not so bad. I know. No, that's fire though. And I think I love that they were able to like get you the CD and stuff because it kind of shows like, like catering to what young people are inspired by at a young age. Like I think that's important. Like those are all stepping stones, especially for creatives. Like when you have that support early on. So as far as like being an artist now, what was like that transition like? I know you played like instruments as well. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, growing up, mostly like I played by ear. So like I never really like had real classes playing instruments and stuff, but like if I know what I want to hear, I'll figure out how to play it.
Oh, okay.
Transitioning into an artist now, like it's way different. Before it was more like singing in the shower. Now it's like studio.
Right.
But I love it though because creating music is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah. What, okay, if you could think about your first studio session compared to now, like, what would you say that was like, or like, were things that have changed? Because I know for some artists, it's like, yo, I thought I sounded like this, but then when I got in the booth and like I recorded, it didn't come out how I sounded. So, what was that experience like?
The first time I was in a real studio, it was so bad. And honestly,
Really?
the very first time I recorded in a real studio, because I didn't really know anything. I was either recording on GarageBand on my phone, like the old school GarageBand, and it was always difficult. Or like I had a friend who we would record in like his basement studio.
Okay.
But we didn't have like the craziest equipment or anything like that. So my first real session is like I didn't know what was wrong with my voice. I would know now, but I just couldn't figure it out back then. Yeah.
I think too with like time, right?
Yeah.
Like you learn to like, what sounds good, engineering and things of that nature. So I definitely think it's a process for sure. But also too, like I'm glad that you were able to recognize like, okay, this isn't working. Like I need to adjust. What are some things or like I guess tips that you could give artists who are maybe still like struggling to find their sound or, you know, in the studio?
The number one tip I would give like an artist trying to find their sound is invest in a home studio. Because like in the beginning, I was learning what the engineer was doing, but when you're able to like record yourself and you know be in your own space, you don't have to have anybody else there with you.
Right.
That's when you really like are creatively free. Like you're not worried about anything around you. You might unlock a new melody you didn't even know you could do, something like that. So it would be invest in your recording equipment for sure.
That's a good point because I always like to ask my artists like, what are their studio sessions like? Because I know some people like to be alone. Some people like to bring the girls, the gang outside. So what is it like for you? And especially like you doing R&B, and I know like some of your songs are pretty vulnerable. So what is that experience like?
Early on, like before I started recording myself, that's what most of my sessions would be like filled with a lot of people. It's cool to gain that experience though, because you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, and nobody can like mess up that process for you.
Right.
And you know, like it wasn't that I don't enjoy a lot of people being there. It's always fun. But you know, you really develop your sound like sonically you develop way more when you're really locked in, you know. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And I also think too it depends on like the type of song you're making. Like if it's a little more, you know, maybe on the party side, fun, then maybe the people being in the studio is a good thing. But I feel like if you're like super vulnerable sometimes too, it's like you might need to like lock in extra hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Now I want to talk about your single "Fill the Void." Can you tell us, you know, just what the inspiration was behind that? And I also recently saw the music video that came out today. Right. So yeah, just talk to us about that track.
That track came about. I was in the studio, and you know, as soon as I heard the music for it, there were no drums on it or anything. As soon as I heard the music for it, I instantly caught the melody. I instantly got the first line too. Girl, we in the same city. You know, you thinking about it. It's like the song is really about like that one person you remain faithful to, like that one person that like you're always thinking about them and they're thinking about you too, but like, you know, why is it not happening? So that was the inspiration behind the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I could understand what you mean, but also it just kind of goes to show how like people make dating so like low key complicated. Yeah. Like I feel like if two people listen, if y'all are vibing with each other, or if you're always thinking about that person, then y'all should just be together. Like, what you think? You agree or you disagree?
Nah, I agree. I'm one of those like, if you dating, you gotta date to marry type.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
okay.
It's to be simple, right?
I like that. That's very mature.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think I had any of the guys come up here and say that.
No.
So we gonna clap it up for you. What's your zodiac sign?
Oh, Gemini.
You know, but you know what's crazy though? I'm a Sag, so Gemini they say is my sister sign. So like I always get along with Geminis. Like I have mad Gemini friends, but y'all get a lot of hate.
Yeah, there's a lot.
But Sagittarius get a lot of hate too. They call us Sagittarius. So you know what? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. And I dated a Gemini before. Y'all cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all on the good side. No, but I definitely fuck with the track, and I think it's dope too. What was it like shooting like the music video? Like I saw the different shots. I feel like at one point you were in like a loft type of vibe, in a car. So just talk to us about that.
The music video, it was more so like it felt like a vlog, like watching it.
Yeah.
And that's what we wanted it to feel like. We wanted it to be like relatable. We were just having a good time. And that was just us hanging out at night, chilling, and we kept it super simple, comfortable.
Yeah, I like it. It felt really authentic too, which I appreciate it for sure. Now I know you're going to be dropping an EP this summer. Little birdie told me that. So you know, what has that process been like? Just gearing up for your EP, and of course, like what can fans expect from it?
well, like you said before, it's very vulnerable. Um, it is a lot of music that I've made. Like there are some songs on there that I might have made like a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
There's a song on there I might have made like a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really just music that comes from the heart, and it all stems from like getting out of a darker place.
Mm-hmm.
So it, it represents like resilience for me.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think that's something that a lot of people will relate to and appreciate because I feel like as humans, we all go through things, right? And we all been in like dark spaces. So I'm happy that number one, you were able to come out on the other side, and then also, share a little bit of that because someone else can learn from it, and it's definitely not something easy to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Would you say like music has helped you like get through things or like has been like a form of therapy?
Yeah, 100% for sure. Because like I said before, like being able to record myself, make my music, is kind of like my hard drive is like my diary. You know. So yeah, that's definitely like my outlet to express myself and how I feel.
Yeah. Something I want to get into is I know PnB Rock was your mentor. So I just wanted to know, like, can you tell us, for those who may or may not know, basically, like, just how the relationship was formed and, how he has, like, inspired you as an artist today?
Yeah. So a while back, one of my songs was like, one of my unreleased songs was like getting sent through my neighborhood. And a guy by the name of JD, who managed an artist at Atlantic. He was in cahoots with PnB's A&R.
Okay.
So he had the song, he played it for them, and PnB heard it, and it was just like history from there. He hit me up, and that was one of my first studio sessions. He hit me up to go to the studio, and yeah.
You guys are locked in.
Yeah, we were locked in.
I love that. I love too that like I even seen like clips of just like him talking about you in like previous interviews, and it is so like amazing that he was able to show you that love because I think for a lot of new artists like you guys really need support, and it was just so dope to see that from him for sure. So that's a great story. Now as far as like you just being an artist and like I always like to ask artists, do you have a team? Do you have management? And if so, like, how was that formed? Or, how would you say having a team has been, like, impactful as an artist?
I have the best team. I have the best
I love that. Yeah. Some of them are in the building. Yeah.
We got Nick in the building over here. Nick is the pioneer of everything. So he's like the head honcho of, like, management. It's really important because I can't remember who asked me, but they asked me like a piece of advice, and the first thing that came to my mind was like keep the people who show you that they believe in you closer than the people who just say it, Right. Because like honestly, a lot of people will say they believe in you, but you could still be sitting there doing nothing, like nothing will change, And then I have good people around me like Nick, my boy Trap. He also helps with the management. He also is one of my producers. All my producers really, they, help me get out of that hole I was in when I wasn't creating. So, yeah.
And that's important too because I think like being a artist manager it's not only about the music. Yeah. And I feel like that's something people got to understand. Like being an artist manager, I always say is like a super challenging job in the sense of like, yeah, you're managing someone's career, but like you're also taking on the other things that come with their life. So I'm happy that you have a team that was also able to understand you when you were in like that dark space and support you because I think that's important because it's not always only just going to be strictly business. Like creatives are still humans at the end of the day. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, a good team is super important, and I think it also allows like artists to really focus on their craft because it's like you can't be worrying about multiple things at once because that's going to take away from the music.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing.
Yeah, it really is.
Shout out to your team, the best team.
Shout out to the guys.
Now, my final question for you. If you could leave your supporters, like your fans, with one thing to remember about you, what would it be and why?
One thing to remember about me, and what would it be? I guess based off the kind of music I make, I would want them to feel like they have someone that relates to them.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, relatability, vulnerability, authenticity. That's what my music is all about. And that's what I want to represent. So
I love that. And I think, you know, where music is, like the current state, like there's definitely people out there, fans out there that will appreciate that and want that. I mean, I personally know I want that. Like, yeah, I love a good turn up, but I also like music that like moves me or like makes me think or, you know, reminds me of situations that I've been in. So I think that's a dope message for sure. And you can't go wrong with being authentic.
Yeah, exactly.
So I just want to thank you so much for chatting with me. We're wishing you nothing but the best. Can you let everybody know where they can find you, follow you, all that?
Yeah. Way of Daily on all platforms and Fill the Void Out now on YouTube.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.